What's up, everybody? I'm here to talk about a very important discussion. Now that Wano's over, well, Wano's technically not over, but now that Onigashima is over, one of the biggest war arcs we've had in the series has been completed. And there has been discussions recently on Twitter debating Marineford and how it holds up to Onigashima, or vice versa. How does Onigashima hold up to Marineford? Because I think we can all agree that Marineford will not be eclipsed by Onigashima. Marineford will probably never be eclipsed by anything in One Piece unless the final war saga is as insane as Oda is saying it will be. But we'll see. We're not sure about that yet, but let's stay on topic. Onigashima, Marineford. And I think the best way to do this is to take the high moments, the isolated moments, and see how they compare to the other. We can talk about the stakes, we can talk about the overarching plot, we can talk about the characters involved, we can talk about the crews involved, we can talk about the antagonist, the reveals, so many different things. So let's start off with the antagonists, right? So in Marineford, we have the Marines as the antagonists, right? And in Onigashima, we have Kaido and Big Mom and Orochi, right? Those are our three antagonists. Now, Kaido as a combatant was incredible. I think as a combatant, Kaido is probably the most antagonistic force we've had in the series. So a lot of people would say, all right, I'm picking Kaido over Akainu, over the three admirals, over Sengoku, over the Marines. And then there's also Big Mom as well, who's also a major force. So people can mention that. Orochi doesn't come up to, I'm sorry, but Orochi doesn't, let's be honest, he does, no. Orochi, just no. The answer is no with Orochi. However, I want us to think about this caveat, and this is probably going around the overarching plot. Now, in terms of show, action, who had the better action as an antagonist? Seeing the three admirals fight was a joy, a pleasure. Seeing three Logia users just absolutely dominate everyone that they came in contact with, except for Akainu versus Whitebeard. For the most part, people say Marco and Kizaru. Kizaru was kind of memeing around half the time. That's the one thing with Kizaru. He always seems like he's memeing around anyway. But for the most part, he was a dominant force. Aokiji against Jozu. Jozu was holding him up, but then again, it was more he was just keeping Aokiji at bay. Because Aokiji, all it took for him is just one strike, one slip up and it's over, right? And all of them got their shot at Whitebeard as well. So I think Whitebeard was the overwhelming force in that war. But I think if we had each admiral square off against Whitebeard individually, it would have been an extreme diff fight, I think, regardless of what happened. Now, Prime Beard, that's a different story. This is Old Beard. So Old Beard's a little different. So when we think about the expose from the admirals, we compare it to what we got from Kaido. Now, we saw the full bag of Kaido. We didn't see the full bag of Kizaru. We didn't see the full bag of Aokiji, but we saw a pretty hefty bag from Akainu. Kaido's bag was more impressive. Let's be honest. There's still more to see from Akainu, but let's just call a spade of spades. Kaido's full bag was impressive. Big Mom, no matter what you think about Big Mom, no matter what you think about how she was used, no matter what you think about the amnesia, her character, all of that, Big Mom's bag was insanity. Like, we think about Indra, Mazer Cannon. We're thinking about her re-healing her bones with her soul fruit. We're thinking about the new homies that she created. I mean, Infinite Bagworks was both Kaido and Big Mom. So I think in terms of action from the protagonist, 1 point to Kaido and Big Mom, right? I think in terms of just the straight up fighting abilities of the antagonist, I would give it to Onigashima. However, if we're going on the protagonist side, when we're talking about, well, then there's also the Shichibukai, I guess, right? I shouldn't leave the Shichibukai out, which is fair, right? Because then if you throw the Shichibukai in, I almost went to the protagonist, but let's just put the brakes on that. When you think about the Shichibukai, we're thinking about Mihawk, we're thinking about Doflamingo, we're thinking about, let's be real here, Pre-Slave Kuma. Now, I know a lot of people have heard the memes of me saying Pre-Slave Kuma and King of Lightning's top 30 and Brago's top 30 and all that, but if you're not aware of what I mean by Pre-Slave Kuma, you should now. Pre-Slave Kuma is one of the most underrated characters we have in the series. That Urosa shock destroyed Oars, annihilated Oars. That, anyone takes that, they're finished. I'm just gonna tell you now, anyone who takes that Urosa shock, they're finished. I think Kuma is stupid broken. So Kuma showing was awesome. Doflamingo was memeing around and trolling half the time. Then we had, again, I don't really include Boa Hancock in there. Crocodile was a protagonist in that sense. Moria, folded by Jinbei. And then Mihawk, again, Mihawk and Vista. So again, if we're comparing that, say, to Queen, King, Jack, the Flying Six, I would give King over a few people. Queen, not so much. Jack was admirable. Jack was not no punk. But again, I think I would take the Shichibukai showing over the Commanders. I think I would do that. Parasparrow's included in that. The Flying Six, we didn't really like the Flying Six. So if you put everything together, the overwhelming favor is with Kaido and Big Mom. The rest of the side characters, not too much. So maybe we'll have to call that even. I didn't even think about that for a second because the Admirals are great. Of course, those are the main force, and you have the Shichibukai, who the Shichibukai were great as well. So for the most part, we might have to call that even. So I'm going to call that even. We're going to call that one even for now, right? So then we move on to the protagonists as well. And we're talking about Whitebeard, we're talking about Jozu, Marco, Luffy shows up, Ivankov, Crocodile, Jinbei. You know, these guys actually having like prolific fights. Jinbei versus Moria, Luffy running around fighting everybody, Luffy against the Admirals, Crocodile showing up against Mihawk, against Akainu. Oh my god, man, just these hype moments after hype moments after hype moments, right? And then Whitebeard, Lord God. Lord God. Now, this might be a crazy take. This is a crazy take. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take this to the head. Guys, Whitebeard's performance in Marineford versus Luffy's performance in Onigashima. Luffy did more. He's the MC. He did more. But, oh my God, this is hard. I'm not going to lie, bro. The half the missing head. Gotta hurt. Yo, the Akainu moment. Oh my God. The throttling of the giant. The twisting of the earth. Oh my God, the sea feet, bro. My man at the sea tilting. Come on, man. That's hard. Wow, that's really hard. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to leave that to the comment section. I'm gonna leave that one to the comment section. You guys, please. Most people are gonna pick Luffy, but I'm curious to see if people would pick Whitebeard. I don't want to answer this one. Maybe it's the hype. Maybe it's the hopium. I don't know, bro. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm a Luffy hater. I don't know what it is, bro. But Whitebeard's performance in Marineford, to me, is the greatest show on television. Greatest show on earth. Whitebeard was just immaculate. Oh my goodness, that is tough. I want you in the chat to decide, in the comment section, tell me Whitebeard's performance in Marineford, Luffy's performance in Onigashima. I know people are going to say Gear 5, Gear 5th, Nika. I understand that, man. Oh my God. You know what? For the sake of the series, I'll give it to Luffy, but Whitebeard is so close. Whitebeard was so close. I'll give it to Luffy. So we'll give the protagonist to Luffy, obviously. But then when you think about the rest of them, you got Zoro, you got Sanji, Robin, Jinbei, some of the scabbards. I would say from the protagonist side, unless I'm forgetting something, I would say the protagonist side they probably performed better, in my opinion, because for the most part, the other guys didn't really do much. They kind of played more support roles. But when you talk about Sanji's upgrades, you're talking about Zoro's upgrades, and I think it's unfair because we have main Straw Hats fighting in the story. These are like main protagonists fighting in the story compared to background protagonists when we're talking about the Whitebeard pirates and all kinds of things like that. I guess it's kind of unfair to them, but in the protagonist sense, from an action standpoint, from the protagonist and the antagonist, I think it's slightly in favor of Onigashima just because we saw more of it. That's what I would say, slightly in favor. Now, this is just my thoughts. You can definitely disagree, and I would wholeheartedly be like, yo, completely fair. I could be talking insanity. That's fair. But let's move on, because now we've got the action standpoint from both the antagonist and the protagonist. Now we're talking about the overarching plot. Now, the overarching plot from Marineford, I think, is the fabric of One Piece itself. When it comes to Onigashima, it's more about opening up Wano's border. There's years of opening up Wano's borders. There's years of history in Wano that have yet to be unveiled. We're talking about Void Century stuff, which we didn't really get, unfortunately. We have Odin's logbook. We have Odin himself, the 9 Scabbards plotline, the freedom of Wano, the importance of Wano to the world, Momonosuke, Zunisha, Joy Boy. So like the overarching plot of Wano is still massive to the story. But when we're talking about Ace, we're talking about Ace being Gold Roger's son, the reveal. We're talking about Whitebeard's final words. We're talking about the One Piece exists. We're talking about Luffy versus the 3 admirals. We're talking about Luffy saving Ace. We're talking about the ASL flashback. We're talking about Luffy, Monkey D. Dragon. We're talking about Ivankov Dragon. We're talking about all of the Yonko, Shanks, Kaido was a part of it for a tad bit as well. We're finally seeing the first expose of the admirals, the power structure of the world, and how important it is for one Yonko to actually attack Marineford itself. Think about the gravity of a situation of a pirate attacking the Marine base and the shockwaves it'll send through the world. Now, again, we have 2 Yonkos, obviously, versus Luffy. So again, in terms of plot, I'm plot driven. Now, I would say the interest, in terms of my interest, Marineford plot, give me that. Give me the Marineford plot. Give me the Marineford stakes. Because Ace died. At the end of the day, Ace dying is, whoo, that's it. That's the one. So when we talk about overarching plot build up, and a lot of people say Wano's built up for a long time. There was a lot of build up with Wano, but there's still a lot of things that need to be answered, and I still think we have more questions than we did before. Marineford was just like, boom, the world's open. Boom, the One Piece exists. Boom, Gold D. Roger had a son. Boom, Monkey D. Luffy is Dragon's son. Boom, Admirals, Yonkos, Whitebeard's death, Blackbeard, 2 Devil Fruits, Shanks appears, Shanks blocks Akainu. Give me Marineford. Give me Marineford, right? So we got 1 to Onigashima, 1 to Marineford. We're talking about stakes. I'm sorry, give me Marineford 10 times out of 10. I'm sorry. Consequences, stakes, Marineford. Luffy got a hole in his chest. Jinbei got a hole in his chest. Ace got a hole in his chest and died. Whitebeard died. Bro, massive characters died. Important characters, Marineford, period. Done. It's over. It's done. Let me talk about feats. Luffy beating Kaido is such a huge feat. Such a huge feat. When we're talking about the moments as well, high moments. There was a lot of high moments. We had Ocean Sovereignty with Zoro. We had Advanced Conqueror's Haki with Luffy. Advanced Conqueror's Haki with Zoro. Diablo, Ifrit Janbei with Sanji. Luffy, Joy Boy, Nika, reveal. Huge. CP0, huge. World government involvement, huge. Kaido, Big Mom, huge. Alliances. Law. Oh, I forgot Law. I forgot about Law as well. Law and Kid. I forgot about Law and Kid as well. Again, another feather in the cap for Onigashima. So I think the first argument was right. Onigashima should have won that one. That's fine. We got that one. We're good. But in terms of the moments we got in Marineford, how do they stack up? Luffy versus the 3 admirals, monumentous moment. Whitebeard, One Piece exists, monumentous moment. Blackbeard showing up in general, monumentous moment. Blackbeard stealing Whitebeard's devil fruit, monumentous moment. Kobe's speech, monumental moment. Shanks interrupting, monumental moment. Ace dying, monumental moment. Monumental moment after monumental moment after monumental moment. When it comes to moments, Ben Beckman appearing, Kizaru, bro, again, I'm giving it to Marineford. Maybe it's nostalgia tax. But guys, I'm telling you, when it comes to the comparison of the moments between Marineford and Onigashima, and I've read Marineford, I read Onigashima literally recently. So I have more recency bias with Onigashima, as you could say that. But when I'm thinking about the moments we got in Marineford compared to the moments that we got in Onigashima, I think there is more highs in Marineford. And there's tons of highs everywhere. There's more highs, I think, that we have in Marineford than we do in Onigashima. Now, maybe there's some highs I'm forgetting. Don't forget there's Law's Awakening, Kid's Awakening, But we're talking about Onigashima here specifically, not Wano. Remember that. This is war arc to war arc. I'm giving that to Marineford. So if I'm not mistaken, that's 3 for Marineford, 1 for Onigashima. And I think a lot of people would normally take Marineford over Onigashima in general, but there may be some people that disagree. And this is kind of just the first part of me breaking down this, because this can actually be a larger video with a lot more evidence, and this can be broken down, but this is more of a preliminary video to open up the discussion. How do you compare Marineford to Onigashima? How did it make you feel? Is there any moments that you think I missed in Onigashima that need to be highlighted to tip it in the favor of Marineford? I'm not sure. You let me know in the comment section below. But for me, Marineford clears Onigashima. That's my statement. I'm standing by it, and if I'm wrong, we'll see. Let's figure out in the comment section. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you. Peace. Yo, everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe here to get the latest from the channel, or also check out some other videos that might suit your specific tastes.